I am eating steak and scrambled eggs for breakfast, and I am feeling much better today. I'm finally getting over it. My eyes aren't itching. I did wake up with a little bit of stuff in my eyes, but not as much. They weren't sealed shut at least, and I'm feeling pretty good today. I got tickets to go see Planet of the Apes, the new Planet of the Apes tonight in the theater. I figure maybe I should get out of here. Unfortunately, can't take a dog in the theater. Otherwise, Pizza could go with me. But I feel like I need to get out of here a little bit. So I'm going to go see a movie. And I will talk about the movie when I get out. But I really enjoyed the whole series of Planet of the Apes. The first one, second one, third one. I think there's only been 3, right? Yeah. Yeah. And even the first one, James Franco, like, I really enjoyed the story. I like the way that they did it. I like the CGI is really good. The story is really good. It didn't get like amazing reviews, weirdly enough, but like if you look at some of the other shit that's out here that people are watching and getting good reviews, I don't understand it. I really don't. But if you haven't seen the first 3, I highly recommend you go check those out. They're just really good. It's good. It's entertaining. And like I said, like there are certain scenes where these apes look so real and so human that you can kind of picture this happening. I mean, it's pretty weird anyway to think how close to us they look already. So it's pretty cool. But I'm excited to see it. I don't like to watch reviews with spoilers when I'm going to see a new movie. Now, spoilers don't bother me. Like, I don't care if I get a spoiler because it still doesn't take away from the experience when I go see it. I might have information that, like I'll be anticipating that scene or whatever, or that spoiler. But even knowing the spoiler and seeing it delivered, it doesn't really bother me. So I'm not really bothered by that. But I've not seen any spoilers, but I have seen some people that I really do like their takes on movies say that it wasn't that great of a story. But we'll see, because a lot of times people will say they didn't like a certain thing of a movie. I'll watch it and I completely disagree. I completely feel totally the opposite. So hopefully that's the case in this one. And then I also want to see, there's another one that just came out that I want to see. Oh, the new Mad Max. I want to see that too. So I'll probably go see that this weekend. And people that are talking about that movie say you have to experience that movie in the theater because it's such a big, huge production that you'll want to see it in a theater so that it's nice and got the good sound and you can see it. Hopefully it's in IMAX. If it's in IMAX, I'll see it that way. But some people are saying that it's like woke, that it's like all about like female power or something like that. Like, as long as it's not in your face, I don't care about that. Like, who cares if Mad Max isn't in it if it's going back to tell a story of somebody else that's in that world? That shit doesn't bother me. Like, I honestly didn't have a problem with the Little Mermaid that came out, that was the live action. Everybody's like, oh, they took her and they made her black and all this other stuff. I generally don't have a problem with that as long as they don't like in your face try to add things like Captain Marvel did. Captain Marvel playing like woman power songs while they're fighting and stuff, and it's just like in your face wokeness. I don't like that. But if it's subtle, like Wonder Woman was freaking amazing. So I kind of fall in a different lane with some of that stuff when it comes to movies. But it just depends on how they do it. There are some, like, I hate it when it's in your face and they gotta like push it on you. There we go. I don't like when agendas are pushed on me. As long as that's not going on, I can generally get behind a movie, Like Rogue One was a really female empowering movie that wasn't in your face. It was just good. It was just well done, good story. That's what I think people want. But what we're getting is a lot of in your face, like down your throat, like the new Star Wars stuff. It's all down your throat diversity, and I freaking hate it. I'm not here for it. But taking a story like Mad Max that's this big world and taking an individual out of it and doing a story, and again, I'll know once I watch it and I'll talk about it whether it's in your face. But yeah, but that's just another one that I'm excited to see. So I'll let you know on that one as well. Have you seen Planet of the Apes? Let me know in the comments. Be curious to know. But next time you see me, I'll be talking about Planet of the Apes. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Turn right onto Limelight Avenue, then turn right onto Meadows Parkway. Proceed to the route. Proceed to the route.
I'm proceeding.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Limelight Avenue, then turn right onto Meadows Parkway. At the light, turn right onto Meadows Parkway.
Well, sorry about the audio. My microphone is not working. I guess I'll roll up the windows so you don't have to hear the road noise too. Just saw Planet of the Apes, and overall, very disappointed. Music great, CGI great. I mean,
Continue onto US 85 South.
it's still groundbreaking, the CGI and everything, like the way the monkeys look real and everything. I mean, the apes or whatever. It's amazing. How they do some of those things, I have no idea, but it's really cool. But the story for me was not great. And it was kind of confusing because I don't know, okay, so I don't know what you consider spoilers, but let's just say there's going to be spoilers in here because I'm going to talk about things. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers, I would end now. But the story, like, I don't understand where Noah falls in the lineage of Caesar, or if he even does. Like, I don't know if he's in Caesar's lineage, if he's like, was his grandfather, great-grandfather. I don't know how many generations past Caesar this movie starts. It doesn't really say unless I missed it. But I never saw it say anything, so I don't know. But it started out pretty good. But then they introduce a human, and not just a human, but like a 17, 18 year old, maybe between 18 and 20 year old girl that has survived all of this stuff.
Continue onto State Highway 86 East, then take a slight right turn to merge onto I-25 North.
She survived all of this stuff, and I don't know, it's just so, like,
use the right 2 lanes
unbelievable, because this girl ends up being like a military asset or something, because she knows all about this hardware and tech and all this stuff. She's like an assassin because she takes this guy out in the movie. She is an explosives expert. Knows how to fire guns. Speaks perfect English, even though supposedly that has gone away due to a virus or whatever. I mean, it's just all of these things. And then to get this badass
In 7.5
teenager,
miles, take exit 192 onto Ridgegate Parkway.
it just doesn't make sense. It just, for me, it made the whole story fall apart. I don't feel like they needed it. I don't know if it's because they figure if it's just apes, would people really be able to relate to the story? I mean, I argue, yeah, we would. But I don't know. You know, and plus, she's like a very attractive, and for living in the jungle or living in the woods or living out, you know, trying to survive, dressed fairly decent, like slacks that have holes in them and a nice shirt. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get it. I don't understand. But this one I was very disappointed with. I've loved them all up until now, and I feel like, I honestly do feel like this is a little bit of DEI being forced down our throats, that we have this, you know, very powerful out of the blue female that's a solo traveler, you know, and it's like they portray her as this badass because she survived all this stuff, right? She survived all these years, and then all of a sudden, when they're going into this area, she falls off of a little bridge and she's hanging onto a net, and she can't climb it. She can't climb back up the net, so an ape has to, an orangutan specifically, has to help her. And that's like, if you have just survived in the wilderness for however many years she is alive, you would be able to climb up a net rope and get back to the bridge. I mean, it's just stuff like that. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I know it's a movie and you're supposed to dispel reality. I get that. I mean, we're talking about apes, right? Taking over the world. But if you're gonna if you're gonna immerse us in a story, then immerse us in a story. Don't make things that pull me out of it, you know? Like, stuff like that pulls me out of it. If you're gonna try to make something that's not real seem real, then fucking make it seem real. You know, like, it's like if you really want to dispel belief, then really do it. Like, commit. Don't sit there and make like this badass person that you're trying to portray, but then make her weak when she needs an ape in order to push the story forward, so that ape sacrifices itself for her. You know, I don't know. And then the whole end scene with the, you know, the way she blows this thing up, and she knows all about this military base and knows what all of this stuff is. Like, I don't know, man. It's just very disappointing. I sat there and I had no emotion. I didn't cry when I felt like I should have. Like, I felt like the movie wanted me to when some things happened. But it just didn't do anything for me, because it was just like I had no investment in any of the characters. You know, when Caesar died and when Maurice, the orangutan, and the other ones died, it was emotional because you knew them. There was character development. They developed those characters and made you care about them. They made you care about their plight. What happened to them? There was like a connection. I had no connection with any of these apes. It feels funny saying, I just watched a movie and I had no connection with any of the apes. Just sounds weird to say, but they just didn't have good character development. Noah comes from out of the blue and really doesn't, you know, like, they don't really establish much about him to make you, I mean, he's like a very like quiet, never really like says anything or shows emotion, really. Like, I don't know. It was just poorly done. Like they could have
In
made
2 miles, take exit 192 onto Ridgegate Parkway.
they could have made you care about the girl more. They could have made you care about other characters more, but they just didn't have that. They like, you know, that was established over the course of a few movies, or a couple movies with Caesar. You know, Caesar and Maurice and the gorilla or whatever. Like I don't remember a lot of their names, but you just you had this investment in their story, and there was no part of this story to invest in. You know, there was no, like, I guess the only story you could invest in would be the plight of the Eagle Clan, which is Noah's clan, and Noah is the main character. But even that, it's not, they don't establish it enough and make you care about it enough that you really give a shit. I really did not give a shit about anything or anyone or any being in this movie. Not one. I didn't give two shits about any of them. And that is because they didn't establish the characters. They didn't do anything to make me want to invest in them. So, but I'd be curious to know, like, if you've seen it, what did you think?
Exit
Like, again,
192 onto Ridgegate Parkway.
I can appreciate a movie for what it is, right? You know, like it was well made, it was beautiful, it was like all kinds of things. But if you don't have a good story to go along with it, like,
At the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn onto Ridgegate Parkway.
I just can't give you a pass. So, you know, I'd be curious to know if you saw it and if you feel different than I do, or if you really liked it. I mean, no judgment whatsoever if you did, but I don't get it. And that doesn't mean that if there's another one, I won't go see it, because I think they're good movies and I think there's a lot of potential. Maybe they'll get some feedback and this one will be like, yeah, let's not do that shit again. Fuck DEI. If that's what this was. I mean, that's what it felt like. It felt like a female protagonist was shoved down our throats just for the sake of having a female. And not only that, but like, it's almost like they're like, we need to make her like Katniss Everdeen. She needs to be young. She needs to be this warrior, you know, and the silent type, because she's tough and strong and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it just didn't work. It did not work for me. It did not gel for me. It did not come together for me. So yeah, huge disappointment. But I'd like to know what you think. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments. Again, no judgment. Tell me the truth. And if not, do you plan on seeing it? And did I spoil it for you? I hope I didn't. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, as always. I'm hoping that the camera is actually on video this time and not time-lapse.
At the roundabout,
because I made 3 videos this week and the camera was on time-lapse and none of them recorded. I mean, they recorded. They were just really fast. No audio. So that sucks. Anyways, thanks you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!